Ever put so much effort into acquiring something only to find yourself unable to bring it home? That's the predicament NASA is grappling with right now. As a pioneer in the mission to return Mars samples, the agency finds itself thwarted by incompetence, leaving its project stranded on the Red Planet and resulting in a colossal waste of budget and time. Understandably, both NASA leaders and the government are furious, but fear not, because SpaceX may once again come to NASA's rescue. Elon Musk has just unveiled a daring plan that could extricate NASA from its Martian quagmire. What challenges is NASA encountering with its Mars sample return plan, and how exactly does SpaceX intend to bail them out? Stay tuned as we explore these questions on today's thrilling episode of Great SpaceX. After successfully executing its lunar missions in the last century, NASA swiftly set its sights on the next frontier, Mars. Following years of exploration, NASA embarked on a crucial mission many years ago, to collect and return samples from the Martian surface to Earth. This endeavor holds immense significance for the agency as it aims to deepen our understanding of Mars, particularly in unraveling the age-old question of whether life ever existed on the Red Planet. Such insights will pave the way for future endeavors, including ambitious plans to reach, land, and potentially establish human presence on Mars. All of these intricate processes are part of a comprehensive program known as the Mars Sample Return Mission. The journey begins with the Perseverance rover collecting samples and depositing them into sample tubes, which are then handled by robotic assistants. Alongside the Perseverance rover, a sample return rover equipped with a robotic arm and overseen by the Ingenuity helicopter aid in the sample collection process. Subsequently, the collected samples will be transferred to a Mars Ascent Vehicle, or an MAV, for delivery to Mars orbit. Once there, the MAV will hand off the samples to an Earth Return Orbiter, which will then launch the Earth Entry System capsule to ferry the samples back to Earth. While NASA oversees the majority of these vehicles, the European Space Agency, or ESA, plays a crucial role in producing the Earth Return Orbiter and robotic arm. According to the initial plan, both agencies aimed to complete the sample return mission between 2030 and 2033, with an estimated cost of $2.5 to $3 billion as of 2020. However, progress has not unfolded as smoothly as NASA anticipated. The intricacies of these processes have led to prolonged delays in the Mars sample return program, with little notable advancement over the years. Compounding the challenges, a crucial component of the mission, the Ingenuity helicopter, ceased functioning several months ago, adding to the setbacks. Furthermore, recent assessments indicate that sample returns may not be feasible until around 2040. A NASA-conducted independent review board, or IRB, concluded last September that launching MSR vehicles in 2027 and 2028, as originally planned, is unattainable. Consequently, the target of returning samples by 2033 appears increasingly out of reach. In addition to budgetary and technical hurdles, NASA cited concerns about MSR potentially impeding other missions, such as the launch of the Dragonfly drone to Saturn's moon, Titan. As a consequence, NASA officials revealed on April 15th that recurring delays have led to initial cost overruns, potentially reaching up to $11 billion. This figure represents the upper-end estimate determined by an independent review board, whose findings were released last September. Notably, this cost escalation far exceeds the initial projection of $2.5 to $3 billion. Indeed, anticipations of rising project costs were not unfounded, with the National Science Foundation previously estimating a range between $5 to $7 billion. By September of the previous year, the aforementioned IRB had revised their assessment, indicating that the MSR project could cost anywhere from $8 to $11 billion. In response to these alarming reports, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson adopted a firm stance, asserting the bottom line is that $11 billion is too expensive, and delaying sample returns until 2040 is unacceptably long. He emphasized the urgency of completing the mission sooner, particularly since the 2040s are earmarked as the decade for landing astronauts on Mars. Currently, NASA's objective is to rein in costs to approximately $5 to $7 billion. This stagnation and increased costs have been criticized a lot. The government has even warned of completely terminating the project if costs are not controlled. After the IRB announcement was made, NASA also paused this project late last year to rebuild the project. These issues could even affect the US's competition with its biggest rival, China. After conducting the exploration mission, China is planning to conduct the Tianwen-3 mission, with the plan of launching in 2028 and returning samples in 2031. That is why the MSR delay is unacceptable. In response to its predicament, NASA is actively seeking support from private enterprises. Nikki Fox, Associate Administrator of the agency's Science Mission Directorate, revealed that NASA is reaching out to the commercial sector in search of innovative solutions. To facilitate this collaboration, they are organizing an Industry Day from April 22nd to May 17th, aiming to gather a wealth of new ideas and initiatives. Bill Nelson emphasized the inclusive nature of this initiative, stating, "We're opening this up to everyone because we want to harness every new and fresh idea available." This concerted effort reflects NASA's determination to explore every avenue in revitalizing the Mars Sample Return Program and forging a new path forward. In a nutshell, it seems that only SpaceX holds the key to NASA's salvation. A recent tweet from NASA on April 15th called for an accelerated, cost-effective, and simplified Mars Sample Return mission, prompting Elon Musk to respond optimistically. Starship has the potential to return serious tonnage from Mars within around 5 years. So, what's behind Musk's confidence? Simply put, SpaceX has laid out crystal clear plans for Mars. Musk unveiled his intentions to send an uncrewed Starship to Mars around 2027 during the International Astronautical Congress in 2023. Moreover, earlier this year, he boldly proclaimed that humans could set foot on Mars within the next 8 years, potentially by 2030 to 2032, a timeline significantly ahead of NASA's 2040 projection. With such ambitious yet concrete plans in place, it's no wonder Musk exudes such confidence in SpaceX's ability to revolutionize Martian exploration. Just a few months back, SpaceX ambitiously outlined their objective of churning out approximately 100 to 300 Starships annually, with aspirations to conduct around 1,000 flights per year, ferrying a staggering 1 million tons to Mars. Musk recently unveiled the intricate details of these plans during a presentation at Starbase, Texas. To elaborate, SpaceX envisions launching 10 Starships per day, with each flight carrying over 200 tons to low Earth orbit. For each Mars expedition, they anticipate dispatching up to 1.5 million tons to LEO and 250,000 tons to Mars. Given that Mars missions occur only once every 26 months, SpaceX calculates that completing 4 missions over 8 years would enable them to achieve the remarkable goal of transporting 1 million tons to the Red Planet. And just as remarkably, this strategy aligns seamlessly with Musk's previously mentioned 8-year timeline for crewed landings. In pursuit of these ambitious objectives, SpaceX is intensifying its efforts to enhance its systems. In under a year, they have already executed 3 integrated test flights, marking significant progress. The upcoming phase will involve initiating landing procedures and establishing, as well as testing, the refueling system, essential preparations for forthcoming lunar and Martian missions. Presently, the infrastructure at Starship launch pads is undergoing upgrades and expansions, with plans to have 4 launch pads operational by next year, as Musk revealed. This strategic enhancement will facilitate a rapid increase in launch frequency. Meanwhile, Starship's production system is steadily maturing. Over the past year, old facilities have been replaced by state-of-the-art structures like Megabay 2 and Star Factory, positioning SpaceX as the pioneer in rocket manufacturing mass production. This could potentially pave the way for the sight of hundreds, even thousands of Starships at Starbase in the near future. Concurrently, the testing system is also undergoing upgrades to accelerate testing procedures, ensuring adherence to tight launch schedules. Furthermore, Starship continues to undergo numerous design iterations, with new versions, such as version 2 and 3, continuously unveiled. Engine upgrades including Raptor 3 and 4 have also been introduced, boasting impressive specifications. These advancements underscore SpaceX's pivotal role as NASA's primary ally in its quest for Martian exploration. Musk's ambitious timelines, including the latest 5-year goal, surpass those of NASA by a significant margin, potentially predating NASA's inaugural sample collection mission to Mars. Notably, Starship's substantial cargo capacity enables it to transport tonnage samples, contrasting with NASA's approach of collecting samples in kilograms. With its streamlined process and reusability, each Starship flight is projected to cost a mere $2 million, a fraction of the expenses associated with NASA's systems. Consequently, SpaceX emerges as the sole entity capable of meeting all of NASA's criteria for a Mars sample return plan that is both cost-effective, expedient, and simplified. The journey to Mars is undeniably fraught with challenges, not for the faint of heart or the feeble organizations. Indeed, NASA's once formidable prowess has waned over time, and the Martian objective now appears dauntingly out of reach for them. In this critical mission, SpaceX emerges as humanity's greatest hope. Beyond merely exploring and retrieving samples, SpaceX holds the potential to pioneer the transformation of humanity into a multi-planetary civilization, with Mars serving as the foundational stepping stone. To NASA, the message resounds clear: you are saved, thanks to SpaceX's unwavering commitment and pioneering spirit. Well folks, that's about it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, this is Kevin from Great SpaceX, and until next time, keep looking up.